Speaking of the depth chart, right? At this point last year, Bo Nix was third on the depth chart because rookie Sean Payton always comes last. And then at this point, we went, oh, Bo can actually play in this league. And then he slowly moved his way up until he was the week one starter. Mike Mayock came out with his quarterback tiers.
Kind of miss Mike Mayock.
As he was on the Rich Eisen show early on this morning. And he has 4 quarterbacks in his franchise quarterback tier. I think it's very obvious who those 4 guys are. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. His second tier is you can win a Super Bowl with these guys, and it is as packed a tier as humanly possible. That tier, Jalen Hurts, Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, Baker Mayfield, CJ Stroud. End of tier. Bo Nix not in there. Solid, but huge question mark. Jordan Love, Dak Prescott, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, Tua, Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, and Bo Nix.
Okay.
So he has Bo Nix all in the same conglomeration of Love, Prescott, Darnold, Geno, Tua, T-Law, and Murray. Is he in the right spot, according to Mike Mayock?
Those tiers are wildly inconsistent as it relates to the people that are in those groups. Like there almost should be a tier. Like I don't love Mike Mayock's term. What do you say? Solid, but
but question marks.
Does it say major or huge question marks?
Solid, but question mark.
Okay. Solid usually means that you're a high floor, low ceiling player.
Yes.
That's an adjective that I would use to explain more like a Brock Purdy, right? Jordan Love, Dak Prescott are guys that have potentially extremely high ceilings. But in the case of Dak Prescott, his floor is his health, and his floor is his postseason
his floor is his
track
owner.
record. His what?
I said his floor is his owner.
That too. And Jordan Love's floor was, do you remember what happened with Jordan Love last year? Looked pretty dang good coming off of his first year as a starter. Looked pretty good in Broncos training camp. Remember he played the opening game down in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil against the Eagles? Their opening game was in Brazil on a atrocious field surface. And he tore his meniscus. He had to play the entire year on a surgically repaired knee. So his thing is also health, right? Bo Nix is solid, high floor, but my question on him is, where is the ceiling? Is it high or not? I don't know.
I think we're going to learn that this year.
This year is it's the beginning of the discovery of Bo Nix's ceiling. Last year was all about just making him an adequate starter in the National Football League.
Don't screw it up. Don't crash the car.
Now, is that what Bo is? Is that how Sean's going to treat him for the longevity of his time here as a Denver Broncos starting quarterback? We don't know. Because Sean has certainly gone on a national stump trail to let everybody know that Bo had the lowest bad play percentage in the college football draft 2 years ago. And he was in the, what do we find, was he one of the best 5 quarterbacks in the National Football League last year in terms of how often and how frequently a negative play, a sack, a fumble, an interception occurred.
Yeah, he doesn't screw it up. He doesn't crash the car, but can he punch the gas and pass 5 cars on a turn when you really need him to? We don't know.
Because one thing I noticed about that list, there weren't a ton of guys that are in that top 4. Am I right in saying that? In the top 5 of bad play percentage quarterbacks that do a really good job of minimizing damage, Pat Mahomes wasn't a top 4 guy. Joe Burrow wasn't a top 4 guy. And I'd say those 2 guys are your 2
Josh
best.
Allen was, and Lamar Jackson was.
Yeah, and I would argue that the 2 that I mentioned are the 2 best passers that can win games with their arm. Like, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson have not proven that they can win games when it really, really matters with their arm.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's the only one who has beaten their AFC contemporary in a championship game. He's the only guy. And honestly, they probably should have won that Super Bowl too against LA.
This may sound crazy. Baker Mayfield's the type of player that's certainly boom or bust. And he was not great in that number. The analytics on Baker Mayfield were not great. He has
he's a
bad
gunslinger.
plays.
He's the modern day, and I'm not saying he is this quarterback, but you know who he is to me? He's Brett Favre.
Yes. He stand him. I mean, he dressed up as in he recreated his draft scene from the 90s and dressed up with a Canadian tuxedo, all denim. Baker did that. But Baker, would you say that there would be a fear when you face Baker Mayfield that he could potentially light the world on fire and throw for 384 yards and 5 touchdowns?
Yes.
Even if it's three interceptions.
Yeah.
And potentially beat you.
Certainly.
I don't know that we have that yet in Bo Nix. I'd love to hear from you. Do you have the confidence level, 303-504-0925, that Bo Nix could get into a real old school shootout where his arm needs to beat one of the better teams in the National Football League when it matters?
It is the biggest question surrounding the Broncos this year. That is the biggest question. The defense is going to keep you in 90% of the games that you play this season. And there's going to be a couple where it is all on Bo. Whether someone gets injured on defense or you're going up against a team that just figures you out that day. Someone's hot, a running back's, gashing you for 150 and 2 scores where you have to go out and 3 points isn't enough. Moving the ball and changing field position with a punt that pins a team inside their own 20 just simply isn't enough. Now, there's going to be a lot of games where it is, where you just win the field position battle, you get out of there with a 3 to 7 point victory. There's going to be a couple, though. I'm assuming it's going to be a game against the Chargers or a game against the Chiefs where you have to go out and win that thing on offense. To continue down on those Mayock tiers as we allow the text to roll in off of your question. Under solid but question mark, which is where Bo is slotted with the guys like Darnold and Geno and Tua and Trevor Lawrence and Dak and Jordan Love. Young guys pushed off to the side. His 3 draft contemporaries. Drake May, Caleb Williams, Michael Penix. J.J. McCarthy is not on that list because he did not play last year.
Right.
Jury's out. Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson.
I think the jury's in. I think we know we know what the jury's telling us.
Russell Wilson.
Wow, isn't that wild?
Justin Fields. And then he has his own pocket for Aaron Rodgers, which is just called? Off to the side. We don't know what's going on over there.
It's not even you can't even define it. The actual category is simply Aaron Rodgers.
Ayahuasca.
Darkness retreats.
I think Nix is properly placed square in the middle of like all NFL quarterbacks right now. I do believe that you can win a Super Bowl with Bo Nix if he gives you kind of the exact season that you got last year. But it's all hinging upon, does the defense take the small step forward to being top 5 to number 1 in the world? And does he have a run game? Like if he gets a 1,300-yard rusher and the defense is far and away the best unit in the league, I think you can make some serious ground in the AFC, and you can win with him.
You ready?
But it has to be 1,300-yard rusher and best defense in the world.
You ready for the ultimate benchmark for a successful season for Bo Nix? The ultimate benchmark is who he's practicing against right now in Santa Clara, California. If Bo Nix bypasses Brock Purdy, which would be ultimately 2 years in a row of being better than Brock Purdy for all intents and purposes. Last year, Brock Purdy.
He's better than Brock Purdy.
We'll see. Brock Purdy's taken a team to a Super Bowl, man. He has participated in a Super Bowl.
That's a better way of saying it. Thank you. Brock Purdy did not take the Niners to a Super Bowl. He participated in a Super Bowl.
Oh,
Thank you for putting it that way. I know he has a 12-win season under his belt. Like, I get that.
But Mike Mayock had Brock Purdy in that tier above.
He can win a Super Bowl with.
Okay.
But you can win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy if Christian McCaffrey is healthy.
Because
the San Francisco 49ers defense is what it was 3 years ago. But it's not.
You just said the same damn thing about Bo Nix. And a lot of people in the text thread are saying he may never have to because this defense is that good.
But also, like, Brock had to go up against Patrick Mahomes. And you have to go through Patrick Mahomes to get to where Brock Purdy and the 49ers were.
Peter from the text line said Bo should be in the, quote, can win a Super Bowl.
I agree.
Because with this D, if you take care of the ball, it's possible. That's Brock Purdy. That's freaking Brock Purdy, guys. Tell me it's not. That's Mr. Irrelevant.
2023, 4,200 yards, 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That was Brock the year that they won 12, and he finished fourth in the MVP. Last year, Nix, as a rookie, just south of 3,800 yards, 29 touchdowns, 12 picks.
People are saying right now that Bo Nix has gotten into a gunslinger shootout, which I agree. It happened. Happened against one of the most abysmal teams in pro football. It was the Cleveland Browns. And that game just felt drunk. And don't forget, even though it was a high-scoring game, you scored twice on defense. You've scored 14 freaking points on the defensive side of the ball. That's not the offense generating points in those situations. He did some really good things. He threw the 93-yard strike to Marvin Mims in his own end zone. Beautiful. Can he do it consistently, or can he do it once against a Mahomes when it is cooking? Against a Burrow when it is cooking. People are pointing that out. He did get into a shootout with
He got
Burrow.
into a shootout, but he didn't win it.
He did a great job. But you know what? He had an opportunity in overtime with the ball in his hands at Cincinnati to go win a football game.
Did they move backwards on that drive?
Yes.
The second drive that they had,
And
was that it?
It was a funky little, it was a weird game. I was actually at the time I was calling the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. So that's one of the, I remember I was like, I'm doing the national broadcast of the Snoop Dogg Bowl, and I'm sitting there watching.
On gin and juice.
Yes.
That's the reason why Coach can't remember what happened in overtime.
I don't remember a dang thing, man. I
also remember specifically asking you to get us a packet of gin and juice, and you failed. That was the one thing you were supposed to do, was get us some Snoop.
Because there was too much drama in the LBC, man. It's hard to get that gin and juice.